Welcome back to Black Clover Anime Review episode number 116. This is being just the newest episode of the anime, episode 166, Captain Yami Sukehiro, I think I pronounced it, yes. Now, this episode's adaptation, like how they did this, is quite strange, to say the least. They've been doing this the last several episodes. Okay, apparently they adapted from chapters 154 and 158. But we don't have full chapter adaptations for this one. 54, the whole thing. 55, they adapted the first 3 pages, and then they skip most of the chapter, but they do adapt the last 2 pages of the chapter. 56, 57, they adapt pretty much the whole thing. And in the case of chapter 158, they just adapt the opening page. And that's it. That's all they adapt to. Like, really? That's not a lot of material. Like, even though that effectively is 5 chapters, but only 3 of them get full adaptations. Yeah, only 3 of them. Yes, which means they adapt the first 2 of 54. Basically, overall, I'd say about 2 of 56 out of the 283 chapters released so far for this series have been adapted for the anime. Basically, there's a couple different scenes in this episode with one small little scene here. First of which, we start off with basically where last week's episode left off, where Nero is sealing Veronica's mana and dub power. You'd think it works. Nope, it doesn't. She's able to free herself and unleash her devil power, frees her from the spell, and of course, there's like blood everywhere. Noelle is down, and, well, her armor is basically disappearing, her water armor. Nero's tied up. Of course, at first they actually show... Here's the thing. They did make a slight change here, because in the manga, when you have Lorpika looking at her, basically her curse mark on her belly, she's like opening up her shirt in the dress that she's wearing. In the anime, she's actually lifting up, basically, because apparently she can pull up that up instead of just opening up a small way. And it was, oh crap, it's not been sealed. And then we also see, we have a brief scene with Mimosa taking on basically the show's version of Lickitung because the guy sticks out his tongue. They fight briefly, and she tries helping out Noelle during this to no avail, and that's pretty much it for it. It's a very brief little thing with Mimosa. Mimosa gets very limited screen time, and I don't blame the anime for this. I blame the manga for it. So, at least the anime basically was faithful to that. Though Nero's not been doing much anything, but Noelle's able to get up and actually... Now, they do make a slight change from the manga. Yes. Where Noelle shows a little more skin in the anime when it comes to her when she's in the regular Valkyrie dress form. Yes, because even though it's partially flowing away thanks to the damage she was able to undertake. Now, they do show a little more skin here because in the manga, it's not much skin. Here, it's like a little bit more skin, which I would have thought the anime would have covered this up, but no. They actually gave her more skin, but it looked like they could cover more of her arms for some reason. I thought that was kind of weird. And then she proceeds to use her point-blank Dragon's Roar. That kind of works, but not really. Oh, how she able to get out of the little prison? Apparently, she was able to cast a spell to weaken any spell that affects her personally, and that's how she was able to get out of the seal and turn her prison spell that Nero cast last episode. Yep, that's how she got out of that. So, in the case of Noelle, she was able to basically, able to use a spear from her Valkyrie dress, her javelin, and stab Veronica right through the belly. And Veronica's like, oh, that didn't hurt. And then she just like, oh, that does hurt. And then she goes, what's your name again? Noelle Silva. I'm a royal from the Clover Kingdom and a member of the Black Bulls. Same lines as the manga, but it looks freaking awesome. And though here's the thing, in the manga there's a little bit more here. Basically what happens next, because after this they cut straight to Yami versus Dante, where they're basically battling the whole time, and we do briefly see Fennel wants to help Yami, but he can't because apparently Dante just briefly glares at him, and she's like, "Oh crap, I should probably not interfere." And of course, Yami basically slicing him up, and then Dante goes freaking giant size. Oh yeah, he says this transformation is ugly, so he doesn't like using this damn thing. So, and then of course, during this whole time, basically, you have Yami building up a special attack called Death Thrust, and it ends up basically being Death Cannon, where it blows away his midsection, his whole entire midsection. And it looks like though he won. Nope, he didn't, because Dante's got regeneration ability. And then he calls for Asta by name, because they even know where it is basically via some stock footage, though this is taken from the actual manga itself. Because anytime, well, in the case of Asta himself, Yami didn't really refer to him by name. Usually refer him as Brat or Dom ASS, or he'll say I'll kill you, Brat. He never referred to him by name for some reason. And now he's referring to him by name. So, and of course, Asta really wants to get up. So he's able to get up, despite the fact he barely has any strength left. And he's able to basically take out his sword and stand right next to Yami. It's a really cool moment to see. And then we have Dante saying, "Please entertain me." Well, something like that. And that's where the episode ends. It's a great episode. Only in the case of Vanika, like, her transformation is so cool. Like, apparently her iPad disappears, and we see sort of a two-faced personality where Magicana is basically the black side of her face and Vanika is the white side. It's a great thing to see in the anime, and I'm glad the fact they played that really well and played it for like for laughs, whatever. An overall really good episode of the anime, and I can't wait for next week's episode, which is going to be the fourth to last episode of the series, because we have 4 episodes left. And I did find out what the remaining chapter episodes are going to be called. Next week's one is going to be called Black Oath. Okay. Probably finishing up chapter 155 and 158. We have Stirrings of the Strongest, the Binding Ritual. That's going to be interesting to see in the anime, especially since that was actually happening recently. And Far Future, which is going to be the end of the anime. Now, oddly enough, there is no new chapter released today. I have heard the reason for this. Now, you're probably thinking, is the writer sick again? No. His health is perfectly fine. It's due to a production error. Yeah, it was delayed by a week because the suggested rumor is the chapter was late. So, they delayed it by a week. That was the reason for it. That's what I've heard anyways. That's what I've heard, that Weekly Shonen Jump has stated the reason why the chapter didn't come out this week. But there is no chapter come out, so good job for that. Okay, so not much else to say here. It's a good episode. Can't wait for next week. Now, I am going to say this, though. Even after the series ends, I'm going to continue to do this anime review series. Just for right now, anyways, discussing the new chapters in the manga until they do something new with the anime. I have heard there's going to be an important announcement they're going to make with the final episode. My hope is that it's coming back next year. That's what I hope. Which I would think, though, by that point, they probably will release a good amount of chapters by then. Now, here's the thing about the manga itself. It's heavily rumored that the current arc might be the final arc of the series. But here's the thing. There is nothing that states it is. I mean, some people probably thought the reincarnation arc might be the final arc of the series. But the series though drove forward even after that. I mean, a lot of people love the reincarnation arc. The anime did a great job with it. And they didn't change very much. They just changed. They put stuff in better chronological order than the actual manga did, which got praised Studio Pair for that. Yes. But at this point, anyways, for the anime comes adaptation, they're just basically stretching it. Stretching it to basically cover the last few episodes while basically covering a little bit of some chapters here and there. But my hope is that they don't treat the way this. Hopefully, these last few episodes don't go the way of Tokyo Re, where even the actual voice actor agreed that the series was rushed, with the exception of the last few episodes of the series. That's indeed true. I'm hoping they don't rush this, because they were kind of dumb. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular review. Next review is going to be your review on the, well, I got a couple trades. It's a comic corner. Okay. Do this next video. Bye.